Hi guys. So Act Two we are beginning today, and I asked you to read the chorus. If you can also make sure you've read Scene One as well. It's quite a short one, so it shouldn't take you long. Before you watch this. Now, Act One and Act Two are the only acts where we have like a pre-scene recap from Shakespeare, and in this time it's from the chorus. It's not just called a prologue; it's called the chorus. Now, the chorus kind of traditionally in theatre represent kind of the people, the public, or even the audience. So basically, what happens here is it just recaps Act One and kind of foreshadows a bit of Act Two as well. So, old desire doth in his deathbed lie. So the old desire of Rosaline, dead, reminding you that hang on, you've just seen them meet, and yes, he's falling in love with her, but he was in love with Rosaline just before that. So old desire doth in his deathbed lie. He's now matched with Juliet. I think this is an interesting line here. Look, alike bewitched by the charm of looks. The idea of kind of it's almost like a curse for him. And obviously, we talked about that with the fatal flaw of his impulsivity last time. So then it moves on to Act Two. The idea of breathe such vows as lovers used to swear. So we can maybe guess what's going to happen there. And also that tempering extremities with extreme sweet. So the really kind of difficult parts of this, the extremes of the idea that they're two enemy families, is going to be tempered. It's going to be calmed and soothed with extreme sweet, so extreme happiness. Okay, so Scene 1, we are immediately after Act 1, Scene 5. So the kind of the masquerade ball has just ended, and we're immediately after that, and it's kind of Romeo's just left the party basically, and he says, "Can I go forward when my heart is here?" Now, this one, I think again is such a symbol of his impulsivity. He's letting his emotions do the thinking for him. Yeah, he's not thinking with his head; he's thinking with his heart. He's thinking, "Can I leave this place when my heart is back there with Juliet? Why would I even leave?" So he turns back and he goes off. Now it says he withdraws, not that he exits. He stays on stage. The audience can know he's there. The other actors don't. So Benvolio and Mercutio don't know that he's there. Okay, you'll see why. But it's important that we know that Romeo can hear everything that's being said. And I want you to think about how he might react to some of the ways that Mercutio and even Benvolio refer to Romeo and his kind of characteristics. So I think it kind of plays an important part. So he withdraws, he steps back, he's climbed over the wall into the Capulet's garden. So Benvolio and Mercutio come in, and they're shouting for him. Benvolio, we can probably guess, is going to be the more concerned of the two. He's the one that genuinely really cares. Mercutio, every day is a performance for him. And we even see that in some of his language choice. Look, Benvolio says, "Call, good Mercutio, help me. Call for Romeo." And he says, "Nay, I'll conjure too." As in, I'm a magician. I will bring him back from the depths. I am a showman. Yeah, he doesn't take it seriously like Benvolio is. You could argue it's mean, but it's often quite funny when it's done live. Mercutio goes on a bit of a battery of Romeo there. Romeo humours, madman, passion, lover. He's throwing out all these kind of sarcastic terms he's got for Romeo. He then he starts referencing loads of kind of traditional fairy tale stories and fables from the time. One about a king who falls in love with a beggar maid. Now, for this one, I think it's an interesting one because if Romeo, is hearing this, he's hearing his friends say that, oh, it's like the king that fell in love with a beautiful beggar maid. Basically, the story is that a king saw a beggar maid, so someone who's not his same rank, who's not chosen by God under the eyes of kind of the rules of royalty in terms of context, and he falls in love with a beggar maid. Romeo's not going to like that, I don't think, because he's just, we've just had a whole thing from him where he's talking about how much better Juliet is than him, that his hand is not worthy to even be near her, and that he was blessed just by her kiss. Yeah? So the idea, again, that he's being compared to a king compared to her being a beggar maid, Romeo might not be happy about that. And again, he's on stage the entire time. Now, we also get back to kind of the idea of a show as well. The ape is dead and I must conjure him. As if, kind of the old kind of circus tricks of having a monkey pretend to play dead and then you'd go, woo, and he'll come back alive because that's what he's been trained to do. He's referencing there that, Romeo, you are my subject and I am the showman. It's as if the ape is dead and I will conjure him up. He's not taking this seriously, basically, is what we need to take from this. He then brings up the past, and maybe not in a way that Romeo would enjoy. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the demsness that there adjacent lie. So, at this point, he's bringing up Rosaline, and he's basically inferring that, I conjure you through the beauty of Rosaline, because that's all you care about, beauty. All you care about is lust and kind of sexual desire. Quivering thigh, sexual imagery, and the adjacent thing that lies, aka genitals. He also ends it by saying, that in thy likeness thou appear to us. There's two ways of looking at this quote. One of them is that, that's how you seem to us, that you're obsessed with the idea of lust and sexual desire and aesthetics rather than actual love. But there's also the idea that he's maybe comparing him that you almost look like a genital. And if you think of another name for a cat, that's kind of possibly also what he's calling Romeo. That's how you appear to us, just like that. A pussycat. Benvolio tries to temper all this. And if he hear thee, that will anger him. Don't keep doing this, because if he hears you, he's going to be annoyed. Benvolio's been caring there. And obviously we know, dramatic irony, that Romeo is there. He can hear it. And he's hearing all of this. But of course, do you reckon Mercutio gives a damn? No, he doesn't, because he is a showman. He says that it cannot anger him. It'd be ridiculous to do so. And basically there's a bunch of kind of sexual innuendos in that and euphemisms. Now Benvolio then replies with this quite important line, and I think it's quite symbolic of Romeo. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark. With this one, I think we've got kind of an empathy from Benvolio that also the audience are feeling. That Romeo's love is blind. It does not matter who the person is, what family they're from, that nothing like that matters, because to Romeo, love is blind. It doesn't matter what other people will think or kind of contextual circumstances with the love. He just falls for people. Benvolio actually references basically that he's impulsive. And we're kind of going, yes, oh my god, he agrees, he knows. Okay, cool. Mercutio ends with, if love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. As in, that's a stupid saying. If love is blind, then how can you fall in love with anything? Because if you can't see anything, you won't hit the mark, as in like an arrow hitting a target. Now this part, again, surprise, surprise for Mercutio, is pretty sexual. He says, now he will sit under a medlar tree, a medlar is like a bush, and wish his mistress with that kind of fruit. Then he says, O Romeo, that she were an open arse, and thou a poppering pear. Now, a poppering pear, if you Google, is quite a phallic fruit. And that's, again, kind of the sexual imagery that he's using there. That is basically where the scene ends, and I don't want to say basically, because that is where the scene ends. He says, I'll to my truckleberg, this field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Now, last line from Benvolio before they exit. To seek him here, that means not to be found. So they've figured out that Romeo does not want to be found. Because again, Romeo can hear all of this conversation going on. Again, the audience can probably see him just behind like a tree or something. And obviously there's kind of artistic license there where the actors and the characters can't see Romeo. They've realised that he doesn't want to be found. He could have come out at any time. And we know that as well. So a bit of dramatic irony there to end on. Next time we'll be doing the balcony scene, which is one of the most famous scenes in Romeo and Juliet. And you'll get to see some very romantic scenes from my actors. Until then, I'll see you later, and stay safe. Bye.